more people coming on, just give me a signal or I won't know to unmute, okay? All right.
Okay, I'm
All
gonna
right.
mute everybody now.
Right. So Chag Sameach, everybody. Welcome, and I'm so delighted to see so many of you joining us for our Tu B'Shavat Seder. Hopefully you have a copy of the Haggadah for the Seder that Becky sent out to all of us. And I'm just so excited because I learned so much preparing for this Seder, and I hope that you have too. It's so great to have a joyous celebration that celebrates the oncoming of our spring, of trees, etc. So I'm going to start the service here with the opening on page 1. The Kabbalists, a group of Jewish mystics living in Israel in the 16th century, created a Seder for Tu B'Shavat. They gathered around a beautiful table decorated with sweet-smelling flowers and lovely candles. Long into the night, they sang and talked and ate, a perfect thing for all of us. Today, we gather as they did to study, sing, and celebrate the great miracle of the trees. And although you're muted, I hope that you will chant all the blessings and sing with us as we start with Hine Ma Tov. Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov 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 Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. We continue with Janet.
For 1,000 years we lived in Zion, but for 2,000 years Zion lived in us. Throughout the exile and our wanderings, Zion was the center of our life. At worship, we faced toward Jerusalem. At Seder time, we called out, "Next year in Jerusalem." We prayed for rain in Zion and celebrated its harvest festivals. We mourned its destruction and wept over its devastation. Our hope was to see the fulfillment of the biblical promise. Join with me, and I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat of the fruit thereof. Today we come together to reaffirm our bond with the life of Israel and rejoice in the rebirth occurring in our land. Tu B'Shvat, Rosh Hashanah La'ilanot, marks the awakening of nature after its winter slumber. We celebrate on the 15th day of Shabbat. Tu is a combination of the two Hebrew letters, Tet and Vav, whose numerical value is 15, hence the 15th day of Shabbat.
Mitzrayim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar. Mitzrayim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it. All its supporters are happy. It is the tree of life to them that hold fast to it. All all its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Bernice, you would unmute now? Okay, let's see. One moment. It looks like Bernice, you need to
Okay.
unmute and begin.
Okay, the 4 questions for Tu B'Shvat. Why is this day different from other days? 1, on New Year celebration, honor events and people. Why does this New Year honor trees? 2, on other days, we eat many kinds of foods. Why today do we especially eat fruits which grow in Israel? 3, on other days, we take trees and fruit for granted. Why today do we think about conserving and sharing? 4, in many parts of the world, it is wintry and cold. Why today do we speak of planting? As we complete our Seder today, we will have answered these 4 questions. Here's the first couple. We will drink 4 cups of wine during our Seder to represent the 4 seasons. The first cup we drink is white without color to remind us of the winter when nature is asleep. We have spent so long in the winter of our year, thirsting for the color we know must yet come. We drink and recall nature's dormancy during these many months. We eagerly await the warmth of spring and the annual cycle of rebirth. Am I supposed to say the blessing?
Yes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Blessed are you, our God, sovereign of our universe, who creates the fruit of the vine.
And the next blessing?
Oh, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechiyona b'kihimona b'higiyona la'azman hazeh. Blessed are you, our God, sovereign of our universe, who has granted us life and brought us together for this season of our joy. We
So
all
everyone that has some wine or grape juice, please take a sip.
On our table are 3 plates of fruit, each of them different. During our Seder, we will taste fruits from each plate so we may notice and appreciate their differences. The first kind of fruit we eat has an outer inedible shell. The almond in Israel, and I don't know if you can see it, but here's an almond. In Israel, the almond tree, Shekadiyah, now blooms. Its white blossoms tinged with pink brighten the countryside after the bleak, colorless days of winter. To flower and produce fruit while winter is still in force is a brave act. It is not easy to move about in the real world, and we frequently need protection. So, as the almond, we develop a strong outer shell to protect our being. Other fruits on this plate can include an orange, tangerine, grapefruit, pomegranate, mango, walnut, peanut, kiwi, or coconut. Let us recite the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri ha'etz. Blessed are you, O God, who creates the fruit of the trees. After reciting the blessing, please enjoy tasting one of the fruits on your plate.
And can I remind Bernice, please remember to remute your microphone. Thank you.
The Talmud tells us that when a new baby was born, the parents planted a cedar tree for a boy and a cypress tree for a girl. The children cared for their trees, and when they grew up and were ready to be married, branches from the 2 trees were used to make the pillars of the chuppah. By planting trees, people showed they believed in a future for their children who would grow up enjoying the fruit, shade, breeze, and beauty provided by trees.
The second cup of wine or grape juice. The second cup of wine is darker. We pour a bit of red wine into the white wine and watch it change. I'm going to do that. Gotta turn into a pretty color. In Israel, as spring approaches, the sun's rays begin to thaw the earth. Gradually, the land changes its colors from white to red as pink and white cyclamens or flowering plants appear in the mountains. Before we drink the second cup of wine, we recite, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Blessed are you, our God, sovereign of our universe, who creates the fruit of the vine. Now we have the second plate of fruit right here. Now we choose from our Seder plate filled with fruits that contain pits or seeds that cannot be eaten, such as peaches, plums, avocados, which I do have an avocado, dates, I have a date, olives, I have green and black olives for extra color in there. Peaches, plums, dates, olives, I have some cherries, which are very good right now. And I have some dried apricots, but no mangoes. So let us recite the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'etz. Blessed are you, O God, who creates the fruit of the trees. After reciting the blessing, which we just did, please enjoy tasting the fruit on your Seder plate.
I'll let you taste it.
After the temple was destroyed and the Jews were forced to leave Eretz Yisrael, there was no purpose for planting and tithing crops outside of Israel. But the holiday was fortunately preserved as a symbol of the love of the Jewish people for their land. It became a custom to eat fruits that grow in the Holy Land: almonds, dates, olives, figs, carob, and pomegranates. The Kabbalists formed a formal Tu B'Shvat celebration modeled after the Passover Seder. Their Haggadah, called Pri Eitz Hadar, the fruit of the goodly tree, contained readings about trees from the Bible and the Talmud. They ate 15 different kinds of fruits, nuts, and grains, and drank 4 cups of wine, as we are doing today. In modern times, Tu B'Shvat has taken on a newer meaning. With the rebirth of the state of Israel, trees have become the symbol of rebuilding the land. When the early pioneers came to Palestine, the land was barren from centuries of wars and neglect. They planted trees and made the land bloom again. Artsa Alinu was a song that the Israeli pioneers sang while they planted. Please sing with Cantor Wendy.
Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu. Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu. Kvar Chavashnu Vegam Zaranu, Kvar Charashnu Vegam Zaranu, Aval Od Lo Katzarnu, Aval Od Lo Katzarnu, Aval Od Lo Katzarnu, Aval Od Lo Katzarnu. Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu. Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu.
In 1901, the Jewish National Fund was created to raise money to buy back and cultivate the land of Israel. Since that time, blue and white tzedakah boxes have been distributed to Jewish homes all over the world so that families might contribute to this effort. The JNF has planted over 240 million trees throughout Israel.
The third cup of wine or grape juice. The third cup of wine is still darker than the second cup. Now we pour our red wine into our Kiddush cups with just a dash of white wine or grape juice. Watch the effect of the colors mixed together. As summer arrives in Israel, the land becomes bright red. Tulips and red poppies burst forth and bloom. The ground becomes soft. The farmer turns over the earth and drops in the seeds. Water, sunshine, and time combine to create a new life. Before we drink the third cup of wine, we recite, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Blessed are you, our God, sovereign of our universe, who creates the fruit of the vine. The third plate of fruit. We now choose from our Seder plate filled with fruits that are edible, both on the inside and the outside, including grapes, raisins, figs, cranberries, apples, pears, strawberries, and carob. It has been said in the Midrash, why is the Torah compared to a fig? Other fruits have something inedible. Dates have pits, grapes have seeds, pomegranates have skin, but every part of the fig is good to eat. And on this Seder plate, we have apple, raisins, cranberries, and grapes. Let us recite the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari ha'etz. Blessed are you, O God, who creates the fruit of the trees. After reciting the blessing, please enjoy tasting the fruit on your Seder plate.
Why should we think about conservation and sharing? How important are trees? Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai taught, if you should be standing with a sapling in your hand when the Messiah arrives, first finish planting the tree, then go and greet the Messiah. The Torah tells us that when you make war against a city, you must not destroy its trees, because the trees of the field are your life. So it is clear we are to conserve and avoid waste to care for our environment. Throughout history, Jewish people have cared about the well-being of all who are hungry. The laws of the Torah required farmers to leave the corners of their wheat, grape, and olive fields uncut. Harvesters could not pick up any stalks they had forgotten or dropped. These leftovers were reserved for the poor and the stranger to gather and eat. The rabbis called the Torah Etz Chaim, the tree of life. A tzaddik, a righteous person, is often compared to the cedar tree because it grows straight, as does the righteous person. The cedar's shade extends a great distance, just as the righteous person's good deeds help many others. As we consider the importance of the mitzvah of tzedakah, let us sing with Cantor Wendy.
Tzadik katamar yifrach, yifrach. Tzadik katamar yifrach. Tzadik katamar yifrach, yifrach. Tzadik katamar yifrach. Ke'erez balvanon yiske. Ke'erez balvanon yiske. Ke'erez balvanon yiske, yiske. Ke'erez balvanon yiske, ke'erez balvanon yiske, ke'erez balvanon yiske, yiske. Tzadik katamar yifrach, yifrach. Tzadik katamar yifrach. Tzadik katamar yifrach, yifrach. Tzadik katamar yifrach. Ke'erez balavanon yiske. Ke'erez balavanon yiske. Ke'erez balavanon yiske, yiske. Ke'erez balavanon yiske. Ke'erez balavanon yiske. Ke'erez balavanon yiske, yiske.
The fourth cup of wine, or grape juice. The fourth cup of wine is all red. Summer ends and the trees are filled with blooming flowers and the crops are growing tall as we reach autumn, the season of the harvest. This also symbolizes the mystical concept of fire and the idea that within all living thing dwells a spark of God. Before we drink the fourth cup of wine, we recite, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagofen. Blessed are you, our God, sovereign of our universe, who creates the fruit of the vine. As we wind down our beautiful Seder, we sing a song that is sung as the Israeli children plant trees. This song celebrates the beautiful almond tree.
Ashkeria porachat, v'shemesh pazorachat, tziporim merosh kochad, mivarot et bohechad, tu bishvat higia, chag ha'ilanot, tu bishvat higia, chag ha'ilanot. Ashkeria porachat, v'shemesh pazorachat, tziporim merosh kogad, mivasrod et bohechad, tu bishvat higia, chag ha'ilanot, tu bishvat higia, chag ha'ilanot.
The almond trees bloom under the sun's rays. The birds of the rooftops chirp a welcome. Jewish Shabbat, the holiday of trees has arrived. The fourth plate of fruit. Instead of fruit on this fourth and final plate, the plate contains seeds from the various fruits, apples, peaches, pears, mangoes, etc. The symbolism for this is to participate in the mitzvah of planting. While we may not be able to do this in our cold wintry day in January, we might have a donation to the Jewish National Fund or any environmental organization that is nurturing or repairing the land. This beautiful song after planting can inspire us as we look forward to the spring to plant, whether in an indoor plot or even within your apartment or home.
Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. And inch by inch, row by row, please bless these seeds I sow. Please keep them safe below till the rain comes tumbling down. Pulling weeds, picking stones, we are made of dreams and bones. Need a spot to call my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain, and to my body and my brain, to the music from the land. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. And inch by inch and row by row, please bless these seeds I sow. keep them safe below till the rain comes tumbling down. Plant your rows straight and long, temper them with prayer and song, and Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her loving care. An old crow watches from a tree, got his hungry eye on me, and in my garden I'm as free as that feathered thief up there. Inch by inch, row by row, I'm gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. And inch by inch, row by row, please bless these seeds I sow. Please keep them safe below till the rain comes tumbling down.
We end our Seder now with the blessing of thanks for the food and wine we have shared.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam al hagafen ve'al peri hagafen al ha'etz ve'al peri ha'etz. Amen.
Blessed are you, O God, for the vine and its fruit and the tree and its fruit. Amen. May it be your will that the trees whose fruit we have eaten and blessed today will be filled with the strength to flourish and grow during the coming year, for the goodness and for blessing, for life and for peace. In every seed, there is the promise of a new and vital plant. So it is with every person. Each life holds the promise of a new generation. Lishana tova uvracha peri unuva. May the year be fruitful and blessed.
Lashana tova uvracha peri utnuva. Lashana tova uvracha peri utnuva. Try to sing that with me. I know you know the melody. Lashana tova uvracha peri utnuva. Lashana tova uvracha peri utnuva. So just before Becky unmutes us all to greet each other, I know that Bernice would like to say something to us, and then we'll unmute everybody. Bernice, can you unmute?
Okay.
All right, tell us what you'd like, and then we'll unmute everybody.
I'm sorry. What
Bernice, you had asked me that you wanted to say something to everybody at the end of the service.
I forgot what I was going to say.
I think it was about getting good news or something.
Oh, right. I would like, if you have anything for good and welfare that you would like to share with our members, to please send it to me.
Wonderful. I just want to make sure you got that in.
Right.
All right.
Everyone likes to hear good things about friends.
True.
That's true. Good
Or
news.
share any kind of news, right?
Right. All right, let's unmute everybody, Becky, if we can.
Everybody's going to have to unmute themselves.
I just did.
Everyone unmute.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Wendy.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Go ahead, say something.
Thank you.
What a wonderful way to spend an afternoon. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
hey,
Wendy.
Thank you,
Thank
Wendy.
Thank you. We've really
Thank you,
enjoyed
Wendy.
it.
Go ahead.
It was a lovely service. Thank you so much.
Beautiful service, really
We'll
lovely.
see you at Purim,
Oh,
Wendy.
Wendy, it was a beautiful service.
Well, thank you, everybody that contributed. I hope we all enjoy that, and I hope everyone that's watching that didn't have a chance to speak today will be motivated, seeing how much fun it is, and that we can have even more volunteers, because an all call is going to be coming out on your doorstep any day soon.
Are we gonna have a Purim play?
Service.
We are going to have a Purim spiel. It's going to be Beatles themed. So there's going to be a bunch of Beatles songs, and you'll be getting probably some more detailed information about that. But the date I think has been sent out, correct? For that, it's 10 a.m. on Friday, February
26th.
Thank you, 26th. Thank goodness for Becky.
It'll be in the next bulletin and the next email.
And anyone that's interested in participating, just send me an email. I would love that.
Okay.
I see, I'm already getting a call.
How about
Have a nice day, everybody.
Thank you
Thanks.
all.